I want to quickly address something that I've been ignoring the last few days. The reason I've been wearing so many black t-shirts is because my white t-shirts were being washed and I forgot that they were still in the hamper in the laundry room, so I've just been grabbing black t-shirts after my showers. That's it. There's no deeper meaning to it. Now anyway, I want to share with you a video that is probably one of the most embarrassing things I've seen someone post on their own accord. This is a video that you couldn't torture me enough to release. This is something that I would try to bury. I would spend every dollar I've ever earned in order to erase this video from the fucking internet because it is so unbelievably cringe. This is something that I would take to my grave, and even after I'm dead, would still have blushing cheeks and feel shame for having ever filmed. And this is something that they freely posted on their own. It's a group of kids that are harassing McDonald's employees.
Walk into the back of McDonald's again!
Yeah, I wasn't exaggerating. These are actual milk-drinking, diaper-shitting children. But that doesn't excuse the behavior, and it's mainly the reason I want to talk about this, because they get away with doing all kinds of degenerate shit because they know the authorities can't fully punish them, so they always just get slaps on the wrist, if that. Which just allows these clout-hungry little goblins to continue doing this degenerate shit for views on TikTok, and then they grow up into just fucking losers. I understand you can't just throw these 13-year-olds in jail for any of this, but there has to be some kind of punishment to fit the crimes. Okay, you kids went on video to harass these McDonald's workers, so we're going to your house and we're taking away your Xbox, and we're repossessing all of your Fortnite V-Bucks and deleting your account. There just gotta be something, because clearly they're not getting discipline from their parents at home, probably just being sat down in front of an iPad having their fucking brains rot, so they think this is a good idea, and that the only thing that matters in the world is internet views, so they keep coming up with dumb shit like this, harassing McDonald's workers, and that's just the gateway drug. In 5 years, next they'll be doing the fucking Kia challenge where they're stealing cars, and then next it's charging people in a Walmart parking lot with a knife, and then they get themselves shot.
As you can see, I'm walking, yeah? Let's go, let's check the inspection. Inspection. Alright, let's check the inspection. I'm walking. Let's check the inspection. Thank you very much. Inspection.
It's a sensory overload because the kid who filmed it is also doing voiceover after the fact, so it's overlapping. It sounds like you're caught in a Dormammu time loop. It's just constant words and nonsense. It sounds like when you're playing Chivalry 2 and people are just spamming voice lines all over the place. It sounds like when the fucking nematodes show up to the Krusty Krab. It is miserable to listen to. Also, I have no idea why they were making all of those clicking noises when they entered the McDonald's. I'm guessing that's just them trying to be quirky with their signature style. But really the background noise that should have been playing whenever they roll up on something should be circus music, because they're a bunch of clowns. Now, I know all of this sounds mean because they're actual kids, so I'm picking on children, but god damn it, the authorities aren't doing anything about it, so I might as well step in and try and, deliver some hard truths that what they're doing is fucking cringe and embarrassing and they should feel shame for it. This is awful. It's fucking stupid. They should be insulted for it. Especially now, so that way they'll stop doing it.
Inspection. Crazy. I have to check the inspection, I have to check the fries and everything. Man, I have to check everything just in case. And me and my bro, we got locked in there, bro. Look, me and my brother. They locked us in it. They locked us in it.
It just doesn't stop. So they're in the back of the kitchen, they're walking around, touching some of this shit, bothering all of the workers, just being an actual headache. Just a blemish on society here. Just for nothing other than TikTok views. It's so fucking juvenile. And yes, I know they're kids, goddammit, I get it. But this is fucking trash. This shouldn't be encouraged. Hats off to the McDonald's workers for taking swift action here. They immediately call the police and then close the door, so that way they're trapped in that one location until the police get there. And also, I'm gonna give a little free advice to the kid that filmed this. Give up. Making videos is just not for you. The whole idea behind this with walking to the back of the kitchen is garbage in the first place, but also you clearly have no fucking clue what you're doing. You're doing voiceover while all of the other words are being spoken, so it's just pure commotion and pandemonium. No one can make out anything that's going on here. It sounds like we're listening to Charlie Brown's parents. It's fucking awful. Just stop. Just try and commit to something else that's not fucking pranks or whatever this was supposed to be.
My legs were sinking. My heart was bum. I was scared. Like Ronaldo. Call the police. Call the police. Sexual harassment. Sexual harassment. I'm recording this. I'm recording this.
It literally sounds like they're accidentally emoting. But anyway, you can see that these little scumbags aren't just here doing an innocent prank. Now they're saying that if the police get there, they're going to say that they were sexually harassed by the workers. That's a serious thing to do. I mean, that's a fucking crime to falsely report something like that. That's just downright evil. That's just straight up fucking evil.
Man, then we're outside in the fucking district every fucking time, bro. Bro, what are you gonna do, bro? Come, badness, bro. She was recording me. I was like, hey girl, record me. You might as well get my number before famous. You just walked in.
Honestly, this whole video kind of sums up the human brain on TikTok really well. It is actual constant fucking noise. Just gibberish. Literal random fucking noises at all seconds because they didn't want a single millisecond to go by without some kind of fucking noise because there needs to be perpetual jingling keys on that platform, which is why there's always like Subway Surfers underneath every video. It's kind of frightening. I really do wonder what TikTok has done to the human brain and if we're going to see any kind of wild effects from that in like 10 years. If people are just going to be completely unable to focus on one thing, they're going to need like multiple things in order to keep their attention.
It's not right. You are not. Why you coming? Let me get told. Why you coming? Why you coming? No, because someone. Boss, can I come out? Can I come out?
It just doesn't fucking stop. It sounds like listening to a team of Pikmin trying to lift something heavy. Now, I know that I kind of insinuated that I view a lot of these things like a failure of parenting, and that's not always the case, and I recognize that. It's kind of wrong of me to assume that kids like this are the product of bad or neglectful parents. Sometimes there are just people that are too far gone, like kids that get too deep into this obsession with internet brownie points, the updates, the likes on TikTok, and no amount of good parenting can kind of curb that. It's just a lesson that the kids have to learn themselves when they realize that all of that effort was wasted and that they've just turned into a fucking loser from chasing it.
Tell him again, bro. What? I ain't scared. You ain't scared. Pussy yours, bro. Come fight me, bro.
I don't know.
Open the door. Boss, you gonna let us go or you just gonna stay here? Because I'm gonna tell the police that you strangled me because you strangled my neck. I have video footage of you strangling my neck.
It's the teenagers.
Yeah, you never strangled my neck, but I just said like you strangled my
16.
neck so you could like get me out.
Another one of those false claims that could ruin a person's life if they tried that. So now, not only were they going to accuse them of sexual harassment, but also accuse this guy of strangling the kid's neck. And he even admits, like, yeah, that guy never did that, I was just going to say that. Which is fucking crazy. That's nuts. That is just evil. Like, full stop. That is just evil shit.
My neck started to do the stanky last stank. Stanky last stank, and I'll break your leg. Break him. Oh, you man, that was a mother. We got freed. Bow. The feds came. Bow.
Yeah, so you just get to walk out after the police get there. I really do think all of the workers handled this pretty well. They immediately called the authorities, kept them there until they got there. It's just a shame that all of that effort was moot, and the kids will likely just come back and do this again for more internet views since this kind of went viral for them. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because there's been like a real rise in kids doing stupid shit in public for the sake of internet views and at the expense of just normal workers. It's really frustrating shit, and it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon since the kids aren't getting punished for it, so why would they stop? They don't care about like the negative reception they get online. All they care about is the big number they see next to their views. Nowadays, it feels like kids are almost incentivized to be the biggest douchebag possible as early as possible so that way they can start farming views because outrage is the quickest way to like relevancy on TikTok and that TikTok fame that they even mention in this video. Like, they are clearly aware that by being an asshole in public, they're going to get some attention from it. So it's almost like incentivized, and there's just got to be some way to curb that. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to kind of talk about this a little bit. That's about it. See ya. I know I'm fashionably late to this topic, very tardy to the party. You've all seen the prankster who's gone viral for walking into a stranger's home. But I feel like a lot of you probably don't know that that wasn't an isolated incident for that guy. He's been around for quite some time, doing things just as bad, if not worse, than that prank. And I just kind of want to go through like a little montage of his worst moments and deliver a TED talk on why he's an insufferable asshole and just make fun of him. So let's start with his magnum opus, the video he's most proud of, the one that garnered the most attention online. This is where he and his friends invade a random family's home for their prank.
Get into random houses, let's go!
James, come to the front door right now, please.
James?
James.
You man, come.
Hello, James.
We need to speak to James.
James.
Huh.
So these dweebs just barge into a random family's home, like when the nematodes charge the Krusty Krab, but they're not looking for food, they're looking for clout. It's an epic joke, just going into a complete stranger's house and scaring the wife and the father while the kids are also home.
James. Is this where the study group is?
No. No. What door number is this?
No. Study group? Wait, this is not where the study group is?
got kids, man.
Oh, you got kids? Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought this was the study group. I actually thought. And this is the study group.
God, the smugness when he puts his legs up on their table had me fuming. Obviously, they got very lucky here that James didn't come out with that baseball bat ready. Like, you know, there was just a chance James was trained in the ancient Bushido arts and charged them with a samurai sword to protect his family, and he would have been totally within his right to defend them. As everyone in the world pointed out, this couldn't happen in America. This prank would happen one time and never again because it'd be just a fucking pile of corpses. Just breaking into a random person's house is asking for a disaster. It's the stupidest prank I think I've ever seen try and become a trend. And make no mistake, this wasn't a one-off thing. They've actually done this a couple times. I'll show you one of their other home invasion pranks.
Into random houses.
This time they didn't talk to the family, they just giggled like school children finding out their crush likes them and ran away. Now the main douchebag's name is Mizzy, and Mizzy has quite literally grown up with social media and has been a professional loser ever since. And I say that about an actual child. Like, he started getting arrested at 11 years old for this kind of dog shit, and he has never let off the gas because they're not getting punished for it in the UK at all. For example, he recently got arrested for a series of videos where he just assaults Orthodox Jews. That was the content, just publicly assaulting them. And he got arrested and pretty much immediately released. Ah, yes, the timeless classic prank of assault. That's as old as time itself. We've been giggling about assault for years now, so I have no doubt the police gave him a stern talking to really set him on the straight and narrow. I would love to see footage of the arrest and the conversation they would have had. I guarantee the authorities are like, hey, listen, champ, can you not do that? Alright, great. Then he goes home and the next day his prank is breaking into random people's houses. The police throw their arms up like, oh, Jiminy Christmas, this was unforeseeable. Now enough of this foolishness, we're serious, don't do it again. How could this possibly be happening? We've done all we could to stop this and prevent further awful pranks and degenerate crimes like this. We've talked to you multiple times. What else can we do? Oh, goodness gracious, now you're stealing puppies? Which is something he also has done for pranks.
Hello.
Hi.
You got a nice dog.
Sorry?
You got a nice dog.
She's lovely, she's family dog.
Big gang, whole lot of gangs. We outside. We outside. We outside. We're all gonna fucking dog. We outside every single time.
This is so over-the-top evil, it almost becomes cartoonish, like something you would write for a character that's supposed to be hated by everybody. Like, man, this guy's such bad news that he steals puppies from old women. It's so fucking crazy. This would be like my Batman event if it happened to me. If someone just came up and stole my dog while I was walking them in a park, I would actually spend the rest of my life dedicated to learning martial arts, tracking them down, and ensuring they face real, hard justice. I don't know if he gave that dog back. I would actually imagine he probably just set the dog down right when he was done filming, and that was that. Maybe the dog went back to the woman, or maybe the dog walked across the street and got hit by a car. Because this guy has never once shown any amount of humanity in any of his content. Everything he does in the most malicious way possible, treating people like props to either scare or steal from or invade the privacy of. He is the most unlikable prankster on the internet, and that is a prestigious accolade. That is not something, not a title I bestow lightly, because there are a unbelievable amount of shitty pranksters, but he stands atop that mountain of awful people, is a fucking superstar of being an absolute irredeemable douchebag. I actually just can't get over this one. My blood is still boiling. I could cook some fucking noodles in my bloodstream right now. Stealing someone's pet is so beyond evil. A pet is a member of the family. And this is an older woman in the park where she felt safe having her dog walk around and have fun together, and then out of nowhere, some absolute lunatic comes and steals that dog right in front of her. That's fucking traumatizing. And like I said, I highly doubt he brought the dog back to her. I actually can't even fathom how someone could end up so hopelessly pathetic like Mizzy. You couldn't create a bigger loser in a laboratory. This man went into the character creator and had all of his stats set to literally 0. Now, I mentioned he grew up poisoned by social media from the get-go. He was basically born onto an iPad. Like, his eyes have been glued to TikTok and social media since the very second he could even open his eyes in this corporeal dimension. So he's been doing this kind of shit and influenced by it for so many years. So now he's 18 years old and still doing this. The man is a fucking seasoned veteran of the most degenerate pranks of all time, because when you grow up on social media, you soon take notice that some of the biggest content and people that make an entire career online start by just being a disruptive asshole to strangers. It's very popular. So he's trying the speedrun any percent route to fame through these kind of awful pranks. His TikTok did get banned, and I think some of his other accounts have as well, but that doesn't matter to him because he's still got the clout off of it, so he'll probably just come back somewhere. He's just like this little pest that continues to infest the internet, where even if he gets banned, he'll just keep doing these pranks on a different channel and hoping that it catches fire once again. So here's him celebrating his viral fame from the home invasion prank.
And today we are going viral, lads. More viral than I've been in the past like 2-3 years. Like, I started social media since I was 8, been doing videos, been making bangers, been blowing up since I was young. But this right here, everywhere. Reposts, tweets, bro, you guys already know what I'm talking about, bro. I'm gonna put the video on.
I almost feel bad for his goofball friend behind him because he's been in every single one of these prank videos and no one knows who the fuck that goober is. He's just here as this stupid cuck suckling off the teat of Mizzy, who's getting some kind of pseudo fame for being a cringe douchebag. And what's even more pathetic for that guy is every time he tries to speak in Mizzy's video, Mizzy shuts that shit down ASAP. He starts talking over him and starts talking louder so you can't even hear him. He sounds like fucking Charlie Brown's parents every time he tries to speak because Mizzy's instantly putting the kibosh on it. What a fucking sad existence. He just trails along like a hemorrhoid on Mizzy's ass, doing his best to collect some crumbs of clout that falls off of him from all of this douchebag crime pranking. That is even more embarrassing than Mizzy himself. That guy. The fucking side character. The sidekick henchman that nobody even knows. But overall, this video is a great look into the disgusting mentality of Mizzy and what gets cooked up in that dumb little noodle of his where he views events like this as a great thing and something to be proud of, celebrating how viral this prank went, and that's all that matters to him, clearly. Talks about how he was 8 years old when he started all this shit, and he's still going hog wild with it, just letting it rip. And he's going to continue to double down on this content and probably amplify the ridiculousness of it. The only thing that would stop it is if he gets arrested and actually faces jail time for it, or if people stop talking about him and he fades away into obscurity. That is absolutely his worst nightmare. People forget about him, they don't know his name, they don't know who he is anymore. That is his kryptonite.
What? I saw you from over there. I like your hair still. You got some nice hair. It's nice and luscious.
Are you okay?
I'm perfectly fine. We're gonna die. Huh? Why are you just smiling at me? I asked him a question, a serious question. Do you wanna die?
No.
Why?
It's even why. Because
Shit.
stop touching him.
Why?
Because.
You're gonna die.
Another day, another banger here. This is the Do You Wanna Die prank, where he just goes up to these strangers and starts caressing their hair and asking if they want to die. Again, that's a prank that only works in the UK, I guess. Anywhere else in the world, he probably gets the shit beat out of him at the very least. That is fucking crazy. And this is not a guy who's in good shape. This guy's built like two stick figures on top of each other. He is not someone that could hold his own should someone get aggressive with this prank. And this is a prank he's done multiple times. Here's his encore performance of the Do You Wanna Die prank to another stranger.
I come quick, fam, bro. Hey, bro, do not die, bro.
Listen,
Do not
one
die.
second. No,
I
no,
end the
no.
call, yeah. Do not die, bro.
No, no.
What do you mean, no, no, no? I come. Do not die, bro.
No.
What do you mean, no, no, no? I back it up. What do you mean, bro? Do not
Listen,
die,
this
bro.
is no joke. Okay, I got the stuff inside.
Bro, no, do not die, bro.
What is the joke here? This absolute loser views assault and breaking into houses and threatening people, asking if they want to die, as a prank. Does he think like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer are like pranksters or something? Like, who is he trying to emulate? Where is he getting this inspiration from? The guy is unhinged, and he is downright dangerous to the UK. I don't know why they are so light on shit like this. The guy is a menace. He's been doing this for so fucking long, just terrorizing his community around him. Breaking into their fucking houses to film TikToks, going up to them in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day just asking if they want to die. Just downright assaulting people. There's another one where he goes into a library and just starts ripping up the book, so destroying property as well. What does it take for him to face real consequences for his actions?
I'm sorry. Come, let's go. Excuse me, what, can I, get a book here? Oh, sure. Let me just, hi. You right?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
I just got a bit of, can I get this book, please?
Right, okay, just 1 minute. It's a TikTok.
TikTok video ripping books, no?
Excuse me, what's going on? You need to get out.
This is not what you did.
That's your book from home?
No, it's not.
Another outrageous, stinky prank here. It goes on and on and on, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. Again, all of this he's viewed as a great thing for his career. It's not really a career because I don't think he's monetized it in any way. He just likes that people now know his name a little bit more. That's actually all he cares about. That's worth more than gold to him, which is so fucking pathetic. But anyway, just wanted to talk about him a little bit because I don't think people realize just how long he's been doing this kind of shit for. It's pretty despicable. That's it. So yeah. There was an embarrassingly stinky horror movie that dropped a few years ago called The Bye Bye Man. The tagline was "Don't think it, don't say it." And that's the whole concept of the movie. Don't think the Bye Bye Man, don't say the Bye Bye Man's name. Otherwise you summon him and give him powers and he's a real bad guy. I unironically view modern real-world pranksters in the same way as that movie viewed the Bye Bye Man. Just these evil people whom only care about people saying their name because it empowers them. Doesn't matter the context in which their name is used, it doesn't matter if people are shitting all over them, insulting them, doesn't matter. As long as their name is being uttered, they get like some kind of Kaioken times 10 boost and continue to make the worst fucking pranks of all time. And even though I know all they care about is people talking about them, I just don't have the strength to resist making fun of these clowns, these absolute losers. So I made a video a few days ago called The Worst Prankster Ever. And since then, a lot's happened. It's been going wacko mode right now with new developments in this story. But before getting into the new stuff, I'll go ahead and give you the brief previously on Dragon Ball Z recap. This is a TikTok prankster who's become known for just downright degenerate dogshit pranks, such as stealing people's pets, where one time he went to the park and walked up to a random old lady and stole her dog and ran away with it. Actual villain shit. His most famous prank is where he just barges into a random family's home while their tiny toddler children were home, probably scaring the fuck out of everyone there. And also making a big hubbub about the dad trying to get them out of the house, who was obviously very panicked. Like, actual breaking and entering pranks, like, that's something he did multiple times where he'd just go into random people's homes. Then, of course, there was the do you wanna die prank, where he'd just go up to random people, sometimes wearing a balaclava, and ask them if they wanna die, and keep pestering them with that question, and then have one of his friends run up on them, also wearing a balaclava, which obviously startled them and made people run away, fucking soiling their britches. Punchline to that Galaxy Brain joke was, he wasn't talking about dying as in, like, slitting their throat and burying them 6 feet deep. He'd pull out, like, a thing of hair dye. So one of those awful, old-school, dog-shit YouTube pranks of you misinterpreted what I was saying, haha. But by then, most people had already ran away and shit their pants. Absolutely soiled their trousers, obviously. Another one, by far his most hilarious banger, blatant assault, where he just assaulted Orthodox Jews, which he did get arrested for briefly, but no real repercussions. I'm pretty sure they just sat him down and said, hey, that's not very good. Hey, be a little nicer out there, why don't you? Alright, go on now. You're good to go. So he hasn't faced any real repercussions for any of this shit, even though most of it is blatant fucking crimes. Until recently. He got arrested again a few days ago, and people were really celebrating, like, it's finally here! You know, consequences for these actions. And it turns out he was fined 350 pounds. he got a light fine, barely even a slap on the wrist. 350 pounds is probably what he made from one dog stealing prank video. So that meant nothing to him. Now, he did get arrested again today, and we're still waiting to see what comes from that. I imagine a big fucking nothing sandwich yet again. But it's worth mentioning he has been arrested again, but no idea, as of recording this video right now, as to what's going to come from there. But I imagine it's going to be like another $100 fine and a stern talking to. Which, of course, means absolutely fucking nothing to him, just like the last time he was arrested and fined. In fact, he took a victory lap and wears it like a Boy Scout badge of honor. So he's talking about how great it was that he got arrested. He even just openly spits on the law, saying how weak the UK's laws are around his crimes. Which he's right about, I guess. They really aren't taking any of this shit seriously. And then he even gave himself his own little press tour in order to keep his name in people's mouths. So he went on Piers Morgan's show and got absolutely slapped. This is one of the most embarrassing 10 minutes of television ever broadcast. I've never watched Piers Morgan's show, but I know people make fun of him for it all the time. But this time around, the only person getting made fun of was Mizzy. Bringing Mizzy onto his show was a PR blessing. It was like the best thing he could have done for his public image. Because Mizzy was awful on here. He couldn't formulate a single real response to any of the criticism that's been tossed his way. He just started rambling about nonsense. He was like actually up there fucking fighting ghosts. It was horrible. It was so bad he himself couldn't spin it in a positive light when he was trying to brag to his audience of 4 9-year-olds that still haven't developed object permanence that for some reason cheer on his madness. He was even saying, like, guys, look, just heads up, the Piers Morgan interview didn't go how I wanted it to. He himself recognized how awful he looked here. He looked fucking pathetic. He got embarrassed in front of everyone again. Even though his videos embarrass him enough, he still went on and made an even bigger fool of himself by even doing this to begin with. And then he had the audacity to start plugging his socials on the program, as if anyone watching Piers fucking Morgan is going to watch your streams or your TikTok content. Delusional. Absolutely delusional. He's been trying so hard to catapult all of this villain infamy he's gained into a career, but he just keeps getting embarrassed at every step of the way. Rightfully so.
Jumping on Jewish people.
See, I was
right, who were already
Jewish people. Hold up, wait
Yeah,
a minute,
you
wait
did.
a minute, wait, no, stop.
You did.
Cool, it was a Jewish person, cool. But there was a trend going around on TikTok called 300. I've done this to numerous people, black people, white people, Asian, any types of people. I don't discriminate. So don't stop saying Orthodox Jewish person like I only targeted him and it was only him that I went for.
Why are you targeting anybody in that manner?
What do you mean, why am I targeting anyone? It was a trend, it was a trend. I just done it for a trend.
This is him talking about the assault prank, and I think it's a very interesting look at the completely distorted reality Mizzy lives in, where because something was a trend, that means that it's totally justifiable that he did it. It's still assault. What happens in the video, I'm not going to show it. He jumps on the Jewish man, which pushes him into the road and obviously scares the fuck out of him, and he very realistically could have been hit by a car, like 100%. You push this guy, basically, by jumping on top of him. Anything could have happened from there. That could have been an absolute fucking disaster. It's still assault. And he seems to be hung up on the details, like, it had nothing to do with him being Jewish, you know? I've done this to a ton of people. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that he had done this so many times, so he must be notorious for fucking assault pranks, I guess. A big self-report there, if you ask me. But what I find so interesting about this is that Mizzy only focuses on the fact that he does this to more than just Jewish people. This wasn't just against Jewish people. Instead of just recognizing that assault is bad, whether or not it's a trend. Like, he doesn't have any regret for doing it. He just keeps writing it off as like, it's okay, it was a trend. But I'm tired of people thinking that I'm anti-Semitic and only targeting Jews. I assault everyone equally. That's fucking crazy. Just because it may have been a trend doesn't mean that it was a good thing to do. Yet, in Mizzy's mind, he thinks it's totally fine and people shouldn't have a problem because he was just following a trend, which is fucking weird.
Not necessarily, but you could say that this whole public outroar just makes me laugh because people are getting hurt over something that didn't happen to them. And that's how I see it as.
This is a point he's very adamant about. He thinks people don't have the right to be upset at him since they weren't direct victims of his pranks. So he lacks, like, basic empathy, I guess. People are just calling you out for being a douchebag. Your pranks suck. And they terrorize, like, actual normal people in the real world out there, just complete strangers, that you're treating like props to scare for your TikTok clout, because your brain's been fucking rotted and poisoned by this desperate desire for attention and validation online. Like, it has nothing to do with people feeling like they are personally a victim for having watched it. It's just the basic understanding of, man, I feel bad for all of the people in these videos that you keep tormenting with this garbage. Like, that's such an easy thing to wrap your head around for most people, I imagine, but not Mizzy. Mizzy thinks that unless you're a direct victim of it, you shouldn't be saying anything about it to begin with.
I went to go apologize off social media. I could have recorded that apology and that would have been another viral video, whether it's hate or whatever. Literally, hate brings money, hate brings likes, hate brings views. It doesn't matter. Love or hate, it still brings views.
Why do you prefer to do the hateful stuff?
It's not like I prefer to do the hateful stuff. It's just like it's easier to do the hateful stuff.
Why are you laughing?
And
it's fun.
obviously, I don't think it's fun, but you're a funny person.
You do think it's funny?
You're a funny person.
You do. I've seen the videos. You do
Obviously,
think it's just really funny.
At the time, I think it's funny. My fan base thinks it's funny, and it's we outside, innit? It's a movement.
Now, this is the last clip from the interview I want to show here. I also want to briefly go back to the dog stealing pranks. Apparently, he does give the dogs back, but it's not like that cures the trauma of the situation. I just want to make that clear. But he says something here where, like, he'll want to apologize off camera, and he could also film it if he wanted to and post those as well. But first of all, I don't believe he's ever really apologized to anyone genuinely. I think he's never shown any real remorse for any of his actions. I don't think he cares at all about other people. I think he views the world as NPCs to exploit for his own TikTok clout. So I really don't think he's ever wanted to apologize. But then he said he could film it and post it if he wanted to for more content, and then goes into talking about how the content he does make right now, the very mean-spirited content that generates like a bunch of hate online and shit, is easy for him, which is why he does it, because it's all views, it's all engagement, which is all he cares about. And that's a very honest look at a completely brain-rotted, terminally online person's perspective of what value is in life, where the only thing he cares about is that engagement that content is bringing him. That is the only purpose he has found, which I think is absolutely sad. Like, genuinely pathetic. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to give a little update to this whole situation because a lot's been going on with it. He's definitely the prankster most people are keeping their eye on because he has literally been filming crimes. He has been gathering his own evidence against himself, and yet the authorities have still done absolutely nothing to stop him from doing this shit. So, like I said, he got arrested again today, and as of recording this, don't know what's going to come from it, but anyway, that's about it. See ya. I've got good news and bad news, and I don't care which one you want first because I've already made the decision for you. I know the optimal order is always good before the bad. So big group hug in the shower tonight, let's hold hands and enter the smile zone together. One of the most annoying and degenerate pranksters the internet has spawned in recent memory has just been sentenced to 18 weeks in jail. His name is Mizzy, and for about a month he rose to internet infamy by doing some outrageously awful pranks. Basically, he'd just commit crimes and laugh about them while filming it, or he'd just make everyone's lives around him miserable. Just this plague of agony that swept through his local community to make everything a bit worse. I won't go through his entire resume of cringe, I'll just go ahead and give you some of his most embarrassing garbage, although in his eyes, this is his magnum opus, these are his greatest hits. So the big one that made him pop off online is when him and his friends would walk into random people's houses to just frighten them, literally just kind of breaking and entering. Then there was this one where he stole a woman's dog at the park and ran away with the dog. And then of course, who could forget the timeless classics, his iconic series here, where he would go up to strangers and ask them if they want to die. Him and his equally pathetic friends would occasionally put on ski masks and run up on strangers, ambushing them, trying to block their way, asking them if they want to die over and over again. So overall, pretty high quality, harmless, gut-busting comedy here from one of the most brain-rotted, clout-poisoned, delusional, attention-starved worms TikTok has ever seen. Mizzy was able to get his name out there for about a month with a lot of people dunking on him, clowning on him, roasting him. He didn't really have fans except for like maybe 7 or 8 year olds that just liked the idea of being disruptive. But outside of that, it was everyone collectively just spitting on him. And then he landed an interview on a major television network where he made an absolute fucking fool of himself, and pretty much overnight, like a fart into the wind, his online presence vanished. Well, kind of. Everyone figured out the garlic to this vampire. The one weakness every clout-obsessed turbo loser has. Being ignored. Not getting attention. Collectively, most people just stopped paying attention to Mizzy altogether. He was just this little nuisance that would buzz around occasionally, pester people, and they just kind of disregard it. No one was talking about him anymore. It took away all of his power, like Voldemort's name. Like, no one cared anymore about how many times Mizzy would do something that would get himself arrested. They'd just be like, oh, okay, moving on. It's like pee into a public pool. You expect it, and it's gross, sure, but at the end of the day, out of sight, out of mind, you move on pretty quickly. So Mizzy stopped getting attention, and after this month of infamy, everyone forgot about him. But you know who didn't? The law. You see, Mizzy this entire time has still been striving to reclaim that former glory, which is so pathetic that he considers it success when really it's anything but. What he believes is his career would be anyone else's unimaginable shame. He lives in such a distorted reality that he believes everyone shitting on him is a good thing. For him, people just knowing his name is a W. That's a big fucking victory royale right there. Whereas the only reason people know his name is because everyone dislikes him. Like, his whole presence, his whole existence is to be disliked by people, and he is proud of it. That is a nightmarish way of living in this fucking world. I can't believe it, but that's whatever. It's his life, I suppose. If he wants to ruin it, by all means. So anyway, that brings us to today, where he has now been sentenced to 18 weeks in jail. He went to trial last month where he was found guilty on 2 charges of breaching a court order. And this court order is actually the most lenient shit imaginable. Basically, it asked him to stop filming people without their consent and posting it online. But this guy is an addict. Like, he can't stop scratching at his fucking neck to violate people's privacy, harass them, and then post it online for his content. He just has this inability to stop himself from being an insufferable asshole. This was the easiest court order ever issued. It was basically a don't be a douchebag order, and he failed. So now he's got 18 weeks detention in a young offender institution, and the judge told him, put bluntly, your pranks are not funny. Which I think is a beautiful thing to say from the judge. Just scathing right to his face, cutting right to the core. Just like, hey, listen, just to be honest, you suck. Like, I need you to understand me here. You're trash. Like, you are actual ass. Your pranks are horrible. I don't know how you sleep at night. You're bad. Like, I think that is just so beautiful in how frank he is with that. So then he said that the 19-year-old's pranks were motivated by a desire to be famous and to receive money and designer clothes from sponsors, which is something Mizzy himself said, which is pathetic, truly just sad. And then the judge continues, your actions caused innocent members of the public significant harm and distress. You claimed on national television the law was weak, and now 18 weeks in the slammer for it all. I will say, I wish they had went a little bit harder here. This is someone who has shown no remorse over any of this, and after he gets out, I have no doubt he's going right back to this behavior. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever. I even made a video 5 months ago going over just how little he gives a fuck about any punishment that might come his way. He's not going to let it stop him from just being a complete douchebag loser. So even though he'll spend 18 weeks in this detention facility, he's not going to stop this. This is all he seems to want to do with his life, is make everyone else's life more miserable and film it. So I don't think anything's going to change in the time that he'll spend away from society. I think he will come back and be just as annoying and degenerate as ever. That's my bold prediction on it, but no matter what, it is still good news, though, that he is finally receiving some kind of actual consequences for these actions. I think that is good news. That's something to make you smile. Now I'd like to give you some bad news. Colleen Ballinger is back. Colleen Ballinger made another apology video. This time, there's no music to it.
Hello everybody. Sorry I've been gone for so long. I've really missed this. I've missed talking to everyone every single day. Obviously, the last video that I posted on here is really embarrassing, to say the least. I was being accused of some pretty awful things, and I just was mad, and I should have handled that situation with maturity and empathy, but instead I just let my ego take over, and I'm really disappointed in myself.
Now, it's been quite a few months since this whole thing happened. Colleen Ballinger, Miranda Sings, was accused of communicating very inappropriately with underage fans, talking about some really weird stuff with them, a lot of very not good things going on in some group chats with them. I'm not just going to go over the entire situation. I covered it back then. Tons of people did. But what ended up happening is, after all of these accusations came to light, she responded with a ukulele musical number that I think she was striving for a Grammy, which unfortunately she wasn't nominated for. She made a song, a real song to make you wiggle your finger to, called The Toxic Gossip Train, where she didn't address anything really, or like disprove any of the claims or defend herself. She just made a song. So this is now quite a few months later. She's now coming out and saying that that whole thing was embarrassing and that, you know, she regrets the way she handled it, should have handled it with maturity. But I'm going to say, you should never regret writing The Toxic Gossip Train. That song took the Billboard charts by storm. You made a bop. Like, what you should be apologizing for is what you've actually been accused of, and then actually maybe try and talk about that instead, as opposed to your ukulele song. Like, that's not the big problem here. That's not the huge stain that needs to be addressed. Yeah, the ukulele song was a bafflingly cringe decision to do that, but the real thing here, the actual meat, is about all the accusations with the way that you've communicated with minors over the years, and the group chats and like the sexual conversations you had with them about really awful and very weird things. That's what you need to actually talk about.
Over the last 15 years of my career, there have been moments where I was immature and inappropriate with some of my comedy, And there were times when I did not put enough thought into some of my fan interactions. And because of that behavior, people got hurt. And I am so sorry. I never wanted to hurt anybody, but it's clear that I did, and I feel so terrible about that. I also feel like there's probably people who are disappointed or feel abandoned by me because of my silence over the last few months. And I'm so sorry about that as well.
And this is just missing the mark, in my opinion. You're just giving a very vague response to a very specific set of awful allegations. By just delivering this blanketed, I went too far with my comedy, made some mistakes, hurt people, I'm sorry, you're not really doing anything besides just trying to move on from this as quickly as possible and hope that the bare minimum here is enough for an audience to stick with you. After she posted this fall vlog, she's now posted an additional, I think, 3 or 4 videos since now. She's doing daily posting again. So to me, this all just seems like, I'll just reluctantly say I'm sorry. Hopefully an audience will stick around for a little bit, and I'm just going to start bombarding them with a ton of content to flood the rest of this out so that way people can just forget about it. That to me is what this comes across as. The accusations that have been made against her, as well as a lot of the things that have been brought to the public eye, are pretty awful. Like, it's not something that you can just, like, you know, wipe away with a statement like, it was just comedy that went too far and it was a mistake. Because, like, it doesn't seem like there was anything comedic about it, or even, like, supposed to be comedic about some of the things that have come out. It's just, like, pretty deplorable. Like, I feel like it warrants more of a direct tackling of what has been discussed and talked about. You know, like, just a more thorough explanation, I think, is warranted for the victims that have been affected by what you've done. This just seems very, like, I don't know the right word, but it seems very disingenuous and sincere, perhaps, where it's just trying to do as little as possible so you can continue to try and have your Colleen Vlogs channel do daily content and have an audience.
So I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that I create a positive, kind, inclusive, safe space online with my content. And if you want to be a part of my journey online, I would love to have you, and if not, I completely understand. I do not expect anyone to welcome me back with open arms. I don't expect to change anyone's mind with this video. I just wanted to come on here and say that I'm sorry, and I wanted to try to show people that it's possible for someone to grow and learn and be better after making mistakes many, many years ago. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to vlog again, and today I'm just gonna...
I cut out a little section in the middle there where she was talking about how, first and foremost, she's a mother, and she was explaining why she hasn't spoken on this sooner, and also that she's been trying to listen and learn from everything with what everyone's been saying. And then eventually it leads to this, where she talks about how she doesn't expect to change anyone's mind, but she hopes that she can try and prove that you can make up for past mistakes, and her path forward is vlogging. So then she transitions this apology into a vlog, which I think is a really weird decision to make. I don't know why you wouldn't make this 2 videos. I mean, maybe because the apologies is only like 3 minutes long and it's not specific, and it still doesn't even directly talk about any of the accusations. It just tiptoes around all of it. It really feels like the apology is more of like an avoidance thing, where she can just loosely talk around the subject and say that she's sorry for it without ever needing to explain herself or what happened or her actions or intentions or anything behind all of it. So it really seems like the intention was get the I'm sorries out and hope the audience is receptive to it and will stick around to watch the vlogs. And her gamble paid off. She was right. She knew her audience. If you read the comments, it's nothing but overwhelming support for her, and the views on her vlogs are great. So yeah, I'm still a bit stunned by the comments here. A lot of them are saying, this is what you should have said to begin with. We forgive you now. Now we understand. It's all good. What the fuck? She still didn't say anything. Like, did you even watch the video? She still said nothing. It's like, the second she said, I'm sorry, everything else went out the window as if it never even existed. She has still not even said anything about any of the actual accusations or anything about it. She just loosely said, ooh, those jokes didn't land. Bit of a mistake, and I know people got hurt. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, I guess she doesn't need to. She will, I suppose, continue to do just fine here without ever actually talking about all of these things. I really don't think you can just write off a lot of what's come out about the way she behaved around minors as just her being a quirky, zany jokester. Like, there's really no way of looking at it in any way that isn't weird. But whatever, I guess. Her audience has moved past it and forgiven her, so she's back to daily vlogging and will probably continue to do just fine. So yeah, I just wanted to give a little update here on some good and some bad news. That's really about it. So yeah. I don't like most pranksters. I'll give you a moment to recover from the shock of me saying that out loud. I know some of you have speculated that for a long time, but I'm just gonna hit you with the truth point blank. I am not a fan of most modern pranksters. Whew, it feels good to get that off my chest finally. It's a weight off my shoulders. Today I want to make fun of some douchebags that pull pranks in Walmart, because Walmart has become a hotspot for the worst pranks ever by the biggest douchebags on the internet. TikTok has contaminated the minds of many young people into thinking that Walmart is only inhabited by NPCs that are there to be used for your awful TikTok videos, so this has only been growing in popularity, and only getting more and more insufferable to watch.
Shopping like us. What do you mean, what are we trying to do? We're shopping. We just do it differently.
So the quirky prank starts out here as shopping carts stacked on top of each other and throwing them into the top one. I don't know what's supposed to be entertaining about that. Maybe for like a 6-year-old to clap it like, whoa, look how high that is. Whoa! That's not usually how you shop at Walmart. Whoa! It's not even like a prank or a joke. It's just so lame. It's so unbelievably lame.
The cart's down, or I will call the cops and they can come and ask you.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
This is discrimination against vegans.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
That's okay, guys.
Who are you?
Snitch.
Yeah, I'm a snitch.
Well, I'm security. You're fired.
I'm allowed now to say you guys are fucking idiots.
Ordinarily, I'd agree with the guy saying that they're fucking idiots, but unfortunately, they're just insufferable assholes playing to the TikTok algorithm that is perpetually feeding terminally online children this kind of content for them to consume for 1 minute and then forget it ever existed. Because parents don't want to raise their kids anymore, just set them in front of the iPad, it's easier that way, and have the internet do it. So all they're doing is providing noise for these kids to be stimulated by for a short period of time. Their humor here is XD random shit, so they're trapped in like 2011, if it wasn't obvious from the main guy's haircut. He looks like he's still the lead singer of like a fucking experimental emo band from 2006. Goober looks like he's gonna pay you to be in the top 8 of your MySpace so that way he could promote his new Broken Side collab. But yeah, they're just going around being disruptive. They were asked nicely to just take it down because it's stupid. They refuse and then they get all aggressive about it, putting up a big stink. And again, their humor is XD random, so he's like, are you thinking what I'm thinking? It's discrimination against vegans. Haha, holds up spork, does the narwhal bacon at midnight. So fucking cringe.
Oh yeah? Look at a jerk. Fuck you! Can I grab the cookies? Let's go, We need to make a game plan here. What's the game plan? Walk away. And we don't look back. We don't look back.
They need to go back to Tumblr isolation ASAP. Like, good lord, don't let them out of the SCP containment facility. The cringe is unfucking bearable having them out in public. I just have a feeling Steve-O felt a pain in his ass as a hemorrhoid flared up having this guy wear his shirt while saying, can I grab the cookies on the way out? It's so awful. Like, there's no prank here. There's no entertainment here. It's just unbelievably fucking lame. So now they're just walking away from the cops. One of them's in an NPC shirt, so I'm guessing he's trying to lean into a character or something, which of course doesn't work at all. It's just trash.
Let's slow motion.
We fucked up big.
God damn it. Shit. Alright, I'm back in my safe spot.
Start walking to the car.
That's where the hard part is. Now, is this it?
Smells like it. Get in the fucking car.
That
Tastes
is.
like it? Sure does taste like it.
Oh, man.
Close the door, sir. No, shut the own damn door.
Damn it. I can't believe we're not accepted.
Sorry.
It's so painfully annoying. The way he licks the car and goes, sure does taste like it. The only prayer we can have here is that he licked bird shit. Like, they just know they're not actually going to face any repercussions for this. So they just take the piss out of it. in the worst way ever by pretending like it might not be their car, so they're knocking on it to check, licking it to check. Oh. It hurts. It just actually fucking hurts that content like that is popular on TikTok. Not that it's surprising. Like, of course it's not surprising. With the brain rot that's running rampant, it is anything but a shock. It just fucking sucks. But let me go ahead and show you a little bit more of a destructive Walmart prankster.
What's up, guys? Today we're in Walmart.
Ah, yes, the timeless classic. Knock shit over and leave, forcing the employees to clean up your mess and pick everything up. Good one. That's the entire joke right there. Just rides a bike into it, knocks all that shit over like he was bowling with it, and that's it. And it was so good, he said, I'd like to try it a second time. If there's any justice in the world, that would have played out like a Looney Tunes cartoon where each one of those containers was filled with bowling balls and anvils, so when he hits it, he just gave himself a severe concussion. But unfortunately, we don't live in a cartoon. We live in this fucking cringe society where this gets millions of views somehow. I don't know why I'm saying somehow. We know how. Because it's kids. I know that's like the biggest cope in the world, but it's true. It is only kids watching this. If you go to the comments, every single fucking comment is from a child losing their mind over how savage it is and all of that.
What in tarnation?
What's going on?
Just those 2 cookies.
This one doesn't necessarily take place at a Walmart. This is just a little bonus here that I saw today. It's just this douchebag acting like a 4-year-old. That's the joke. So he takes 2 cookies out and says, just those 2, ring those up for me, please. And he puts as many sound effects as possible in here. Like, he crams as many sound bites as he can possibly fucking fit in this video. Because he knows that that's the audience. Kids that need constant, like, referential sound bites and shit to stay hooked. And, like, the actual content here is nothing. Like, nothing happens. He puts the cookies there. The cashier wants nothing to do with him. He's fucking bored. He's over it immediately.
Wait a minute.
How much?
I get paid enough for this.
Wait, what are you doing? Are you calling someone? No, look, I took it out from the box right here. I got like 50 cents.
If you ever see someone being this uninterested in what you're doing, you need to take a long, hard look at the mirror and wonder where everything went wrong. This is a video that you couldn't fucking squeeze out of me for anything in the world. If I had filmed something like this, I would never let it see the light of day. I would break every fucking phone. I'd get all of the security camera footage to erase the existence of this moment happening. It's so fucking embarrassing and shameful. Yet this guy not only proudly posts it on his TikTok, but then he edits it to fill as much space as possible with fucking sound bites. It is so embarrassing.
Like, I opened the box and I just took 2 cookies out. You have to buy the whole box? Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Here comes Karen.
But, I think I'll buy the whole box. Nah, I don't know him.
Oh my god, that just sends chills up my spine. Not only did they just completely have no interest in this garbage that this guy was trying to pull, they caught him with his pants down, hand in the cookie jar here, and called him out for recording a bad prank, and then they all just look at the camera. And you can tell that the main character here also gets super uneasy once he's found out the ruse is kaput. Holy shit, it's so shameful. But he still posted it, so I guess it wasn't too shameful for him. Half the people on TikTok don't even know what that word means, clearly. Yeah, I just wanted to show these pranks and make fun of the assholes in them a little bit. That's it. So yeah. Hey, what's going on? It's me, the #1 hater of harassment pranksters. Those putrid worms that mainly infest TikTok and go around filming themselves just trying to start confrontation with strangers for no reason other than getting a rise out of them for their content. And then the second that one of the victims starts to fight back, whether it's arguing or even trying to get physical, the sniveling cowards then do their best to go into panic mode, rapidly trying to de-escalate the situation they've caused. Like, chill, calm down. What are you getting so worked up about? I'm just pretending to be a mentally ill douchebag starting shit. God, it's so cringe that you're getting so upset. And then, like, the prankster starts getting offended. It's so fucking embarrassing. Anyway, today I stumbled across a tough guy who likes to do this kind of content on the elderly.
Whoa, watch your cart, tough guy. Parents didn't teach you no manners?
Guess not.
Guess not, man. Yeah, you need to watch yourself around there. Guys like you, easy pickings.
This poor loser really rolled a nat 1 in all of his stats. He's got a nasally voice that he's doing his absolute best, fighting for his life to hide, so he's trying to deepen it while talking to the older gentleman. Hey, you better watch where you're going, Buster. But you can hear it cracking through. It's like a child on Xbox Live pretending to be older by just making a deep voice sound. He's also got a dog shit, unlovable attitude, so I feel like he was probably bullied in high school with spitballs shot into the back of his head, and now that he's out of high school, he's trying to do something with his life, and this is what he's chosen here for some clout on TikTok. Just trying to harass an old man who is not playing ball with any of this garbage here. This old guy has the patience of a saint. This is the Zen master here. This guy doesn't engage at all, and yet this goober still continues to try.
You must be new around here, huh? It's your first time in Baltimore?
How about yourself?
I've lived here 25 years.
Liar, liar, job prospects on fire. You are not 25 years old. There is no chance of that. No shot whatsoever. I have to imagine he's maybe 20 at most. He's probably between 18 and 20 and just trying his absolute best to emulate the viral douchebags on TikTok that harass people. But he's so much of a little pussy that he's doing it to an elderly gentleman. Someone he knows is not going to fight back, because if he did this to anyone else in his age bracket, I bet he would have been fucking snapped in half. He sounds like a dweeb.
I'm just trying to get by, Pipsqueak. I need to get by this way. I got OCD, so I gotta walk around on the right every single time, you know? Yeah. Got a problem with me? Well, it seems like it.
Such a fucking strong, intimidating man. Wait till you see his next prank of taking candy from a baby. This guy is badass. I truly don't understand who watches this shit. Now, I know the easy default answer everyone goes to is kids, and 99% of the time I know they're right, but in a case like this is so pathetic that I feel like even children would be laughing at this guy. Like, even children would be insulting this dork. Like, just look at the way he's talking here. You got a problem with me? Pushes up glasses, readjusts fedora. Seems like you do. Like, no one's gonna even find that humorous. You're doing it to an extremely nice old man. You just look like a huge asshole and you're providing nothing of entertainment here. The old man is fucking clapping you by not responding and just, like, dismissing you as some kind of, like, you know, escaped mental asylum patient. Like, I don't know how you could ever upload this and not feel shame. This, I can't imagine the mind space to be in where you'd be proud of it. I really can't.
Standing here looking me in my eye, trying to do a stare down or something. I don't know what you're trying to do. I'm just trying to get my ice cream and go home. That's all.
Damn, what a hard line. The spiritual pressure around him just knocked out 5 different customers across the store when he said that. I'm just here to get my ice cream and go home. I don't want no problems, bub. I don't want no trouble. Jesus Christ. I'm just here to get my ice cream and go home. Yeah, mom says I need to be home by 9. This video is a little on the older side. It was at the end of last year, I believe. And not only did he go home, he also went offline, thank God. So it seems like a lot of people must have laughed him off of TikTok because the original account I can't find anymore. But these harassing older people pranks in public aren't uncommon. There's quite a few TikTok superstars that like to engage in that. One of them that blew up a while ago, also on the other side, is the one where people would just grab a hose at Home Depot or Lowe's and just spray random old people as they walked by.
This way, oh, huh? Oh, how do you turn this off?
Oh snap. Oh shoot. Oh snap. Whoa, whoa. Oh snap. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to turn it off. I didn't know how to turn it off. I think it's off now. Oh snap. Oh.
The caption says that the prank went wrong, which is the classic clickbait. I'm actually this is getting off topic, but I'm actually somewhat nostalgic for the gone wrong phrase now, because that used to be such a massive clickbait meme like 10 years ago, and to see that it's been revived on TikTok is actually somewhat nostalgic. Like seeing an old, well, not friend, but like an old enemy that now you kind of have a soft spot for. Kind of like when you go back and rewatch SpongeBob, where as a kid, Squidward was like this big, mean guy, like real rude asshole. But now when you go back and watch it as an adult, you're like, nah, I kind of feel for him. That's how I feel about like the Gone Wrong title. But anyway, it's titled, spraying people with the hose prank gone wrong. But nothing goes wrong, as is standard procedure for that title. Everyone he sprays here was super nice about it. They're like, hey, wait, what's going on? And he's like, oh, I just can't turn the hose off. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. No problems at all. At least not that I saw. Like, everyone was super, super sweet. He just sprayed them, and they were like, oh, man, what a bummer. But it's okay, you didn't mean to. But little do they know, that was the whole reason he was even out in public that day, just to make some people's lives a little less pleasant. Just to be a huge fucking nuisance and a big inconvenience to the people around him. And the spraying people with the hose prank actually did catch on. It's like a year old or so. This was pretty big for a little while, so there's a lot of videos of pranksters doing this one, and all of them seem to target exclusively elderly people. And the reason should be pretty obvious, because they know that they're not going to fight them, and if they do, they probably stand a good chance of winning the fight against them because they are old. Actual fucking weenies here. And for some reason, it seems to be like old people is the main demographic that get targeted by these public nuisance pranksters. For some reason, well, I don't even know why I'm saying for some reason. We know the reason. They're not going to do this to someone that's actually going to beat their ass. Like, they're not going to get their shit pushed in by somebody for the sake of their TikTok videos. Like, we already saw that happen once and the guy ended up getting shot. So they're targeting older people because they feel more confident that there's not going to be something that's going to lead to them being hospitalized. It's just such a pathetic thing to do for some internet brownie points. Like, is there anything more shameful? Like, these are just complete strangers just going about their day like everyone else, and you just go out of your way to just be this cringe douchebag that tries to farm them for views on TikTok by harassing them, or in some cases even just like assaulting them. There are some degenerate pranksters on there, and a lot of it is targeted at older people. It sucks. But anyway, just wanted to insult them and talk about this a little bit since I saw that video of the shopping cart tough guy, the don't tussle with the muscle in the ice cream section. You might encounter the boogeyman. When I saw that, I just thought, I've got to just make fun of this guy and all of the other pranksters that do this kind of shit. So anyway, that's really about it. So yeah.